welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have yet again something from Merrell. Absolutely love this brand. Let's open up the box and see what we got, because these are their newer Moab 3. Yes, and if you have been subscribed to this channel, you already know that I reviewed Moab 3 just probably about a month ago. But this is not a regular Moab 3. No, this is their Prime mid-size waterproof version. Check these boots out. I mean, if you are an outdoor enthusiast, you know Merrell, because they know how to make stuff for people like us, the outdoors enthusiasts. That is, and I have to say, I think this might be even better than the regular Moab 3, but you'll have to stick around for the whole review to find out why, because this is not a regular hiking boot review. No, this review is specifically for my ultimate survival boot section. Basically, if this weren't just your hiking boots, but something bad happened, maybe something bad happened on the hike, or maybe you were in the house and something bad happened and you put them on, and now you had to leave your house, you had to walk for miles, run, you had to survive, I don't know, scavenge for food, fight off gangs, I don't know, you think about your survival situation. I'm sure after the past few years, your survival scenarios, they kind of got some color into it. But if these were the boots that you were wearing, would they help you to survive? Or would they get you killed? How do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin with the criteria number 1, comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level, I do a 3-mile run, and then I do a 5-mile walk, and then I continue wearing the boots for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is 8 hours. I say it in every single review that I do, and yet sometimes I get comments and questions asking what kind of tests I've done. Yes, story of my life. But I have to say, I absolutely love the comfort level of these boots. It's just fantastic. There are a few things that contribute to the comfort level. Let's start with the first one, the weight. Now this is size 10, and I'm gonna tell you exactly, I'm thinking should be, you know what, I would say about 18 ounce. Let's see if I'm anywhere close. Usually I'm really off, but sometimes I get lucky. 20, exactly 20 ounce, so it's definitely 2 ounce over what I estimated, but not that bad, okay, not that terrible. But 20 ounce, I have to say, it's the gold standard for mid-size waterproof boots. If you want lightweight boots, you want something 20 ounce and under. The more under 20 ounce, obviously the lighter it's going to be, but keep in mind with lightweight boots, usually you are compromising on stuff like protection, on stuff like proofing, on stuff like padding. So overall, I think that's a well worthy trade-off, and it is still in the gold standard of 20 ounce. Again, if it's a little bit over 20 ounce, no big deal, but kind of something for you to keep in mind. Let's talk about the flexibility of the outsole. That's another thing that contributes to the comfort level. Here, as you can see, it is pretty bulky. I mean, this is Vibram outsole. We will talk about it in detail later, but it is still nice and flexible. Keep in mind though, this is not flimsy flexible like one of those cheap boots from Amazon, like no brand random boot. And no, this is a quality outsole that gives you enough of protection and would handle decent even if you're doing some mild mountaineering in these boots. And still you have flexibility, you have the very nice creasing spots that do not create no pressure points. Moving further into the inner sole, I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna demonstrate it to you, because it is probably one of the best inner soles right now that you can get stock in a boot, because it has a very distinct, I mean, you can't mess with this heel bed at all. This is legit heel bed. This is legit arch support, and the cushioning is really nice. And you can see there's additional cushioning here in the heel and at the very front of the toe box. It really does give you extra cushioning, especially whenever you're running, protects you from that extra impact. And as you can see, it does have some vents for breathability. Really good inner sole. Now, talking about the padding, we got some very nice padded shaft, very nicely padded tongue, as you can see. just, I mean, really, really nice. It's unbelievably comfortable. And throughout the whole boot, obviously, because you have that waterproofing kind of liner going, you have that extra cushioning. I would say it's really, it's hard to say, give anything less than 10 out of 10 for the comfort level of this boot. It's just excellent. But let's move on to the criteria number 2, which is proofing and protection. Proofing wise, yes, this is waterproof. Now, this is Merrell's own waterproofing. This is not anything fancy, not Gore-Tex, not anything, but there is actually a benefit to it. We will talk about it later. Why, you know, it's sometimes you want to go with the regular waterproofing and not Gore-Tex waterproofing. Here, as you can see, the tongue is nicely gusseted, and it is gusseted all the way to the top of the tallest point of the shaft, which is great. Sometimes I see the shaft being, you know, another 4 or 5 inches, and the gusseting is only like 4 inches off the ground, and it's kind of dumb. But here, Merrell, obviously they know what they're doing, and as you can see, the waterproofing liner, it's a little bit of a different shade of black here, goes just underneath the padded here on the top that is not waterproof, but obviously you have that much of the clearance for waterproofing. So you know, if you're crossing a creek or a river, like very, very, very shallow river that is, you will be just fine. But let's talk about the protection now. The toe box, yes, it's a little bit reinforced, but it's still very soft. Don't drop anything heavy. Obviously, you have some protection in the shaft. You have some protection in the heel. It is reinforced. And you have plenty of protection from the outsole. But again, we will talk about the outsole later. Let's move on to the criteria number 3 now, quality and design features. Now, quality-wise, again, Merrell, if you've never had anything from Merrell, prepare to be surprised, because this is one of those brands that just changes your perspective on anything, you know, hiking, outdoors, whatever. Whenever it comes to comfort, whenever it comes to protection, whenever it comes to the outsole, the quality of the outsole. And if you know, I put the Amazon link in the description below. I'll put the Backcountry link in the description below. Check out the, you know, check out the reviews. Check out reviews from people. Right now, these on Amazon, they have over 70 reviews, but these are brand new on Amazon, so there's not a lot of reviews yet. But some of their other models, like Moab 2, they have thousands of reviews, so people do like them quite a lot. And it's always almost 5 stars, right? So 4.5 stars at least, so people do like them. Let's talk about the design features now. Design features, usually here I talk about the lacing system. I gotta say, this is my favorite type of lace. It has a little bit of a texture to it. It's thick and it's very firm, so it's very easy to put these shoes on and take them off. Very, I mean, it slides through very nicely. Also, it really helps to the weight and, you know, tightening the lace. Overall, these fabric hooks right here, as you can see, there's 5 pairs of them, closed hooks, and then there's 1 pair of open hooks, steel hooks right here for extra reinforcement. And it's nice to have the open hooks for your hiking boots. If you are, you know, hiking down, hiking up, uphill, downhill, you can release the pressure, the tension here really quickly. Okay, so done with that. Let's move on to the criteria number 4 now. Outsole, traction and stability. So whenever I do my run and whenever I do my walk, I do it on a variety of different surfaces. I start with regular pavement and then go to the dry sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, trail surface, marble, tile, rubber, just anything ever. I mean, I have a lot of different stuff around my house, so I tested it on everything. And this is one of those outsoles that handles great on anything you throw at it. I mean, it's really, really good. It is aggressive enough. It is flat enough overall, as you can see. It's just fantastic. And plus, it's Vibram. So if you're not familiar with Vibram, it's one of those go-to outsoles that a lot of good quality brands use, like Merrell, Salomon, La Sportiva. I have plenty of brands use Vibram in their boots, shoes, whatever. It's quality stuff. So you have the protection, you have the grip, you have just everything you really need to encounter in the outdoors situation. And at the same time, not compromise on flexibility. So let's move on to the criteria number 5 now, temperature, really quickly. Obviously, these are not winter boots. They are not insulated in any way. Can you get away with some winter temperatures? Yeah, absolutely. You know, around 30s, maybe somewhere even in the low 30s, you will be just fine. If you implement some merino wool socks, you will be good. But for other 3 seasons, obviously in the summertime, if you're getting into the 90s, you will get a little bit overheated, because with waterproofing, that's one of the things that you kind of compromise on the breathability. But again, I would say easily 3-season boot, possibly 4-season if it's mild winter. So I mean, it's really hard to make a boot that is 4-season designed for everything, right? This is as close as you can get to being just all-season boot, right? So overall, really nicely balanced. Let's move on to the criteria number 6, sizing. Now, Merrell, they are known to run a little bit on the bigger side, a little bit more on the spacious in the toe box. So keep that in mind whenever you're buying your boots. These I would recommend getting in your size, your normal shoe size, because they do kind of run a little bit on the bigger side. But again, it really comes down to the preference. It comes down to the fitment. So that's one of the reasons I really like Amazon, especially if you have Amazon Prime. You buy something, it doesn't fit you, you just send it back, you get the replacement. Easy, free, right? You can't beat that. But be prepared to kind of play around with the size before you find the right one. Let's move on to the criteria number 7 now, balance of application. So if this really was your ultimate survival boot, maybe you were hiking, maybe you were motorcycle riding, I don't know, doing something. Or maybe you were in the house and something bad happened. You put this on, you take your backpack, your survival backpack, hopefully you're ready to go. If you are not, actually check out a few videos about gear that I have on this channel, about the backpack, about survival. I mean, that's what this channel is all about after all. But if this is what you were wearing, would this be good for your survival? Honestly, this is, to me personally, one of the best options that you can get, easily in my top 10. And that's where I wanted to mention the reason why I think these are better than the regular Moab 3 is because Moab 3 Prime, they are 100% leather, full grain leather. And with leather, yes, you do get a little bit more weight, but with that leather you get much more durability compared to a regular fabric. And I mean, whenever it comes to survival situations, you kind of do want the durability, you do want that qualities of for good quality leather, and that's what you get from these Moab 3 Prime. So it's definitely on the plus side. Another thing that I wanted to mention here in general is because why they're good, right? Why they're good for your survival situation is because they look very inconspicuous. I mean, this is something that you can wear on a daily basis if you're going to work, if you're going to whatever, and not look, I mean, you are wearing boots, mid-sized boots at the end of the day, but still, they don't look as a lot of other hiking, outdoors, or maybe tactical combat boots that are out there that just catch attention and make you look like you are, overdressing or something for the occasion. Not the case with these. And I mean with the features. The comfort is fantastic. The outsole is very well balanced. Really, you can throw at it. You have protection, you have waterproofing. It's really, really hard to go wrong with these. And let's move on to the criteria number 8 now. The price, $159 on Amazon, $160. I have to say that is excellent price for a boot that just came out, for a brand new boot that is on the market, that is 100% full grain leather, that has the waterproofing, that has the Vibram outsole. $160 is a fantastic price. Is there competition in that price range? Yes, absolutely there is competition in that price range. But again, it comes down to personal preference, it comes down to fitment. Some people, they prefer the fitment of La Sportiva Salomon, a bit more narrow, tighter fit. Some people prefer a little bit more kind of balanced fitment, kind of like Merrell, with a little bit more freedom in the toe box. Some people prefer a wider fit, kind of like Keen. So really it comes down to personal preference and the fitment, but this right here is definitely easily in the top 10 my favorite ultimate survival boots of all time, of everything that I review on this channel, because they are definitely that good. And one thing that I wanted to mention about the Gore-Tex before I forget, why I think regular waterproofing might be better than Gore-Tex in a lot of situations. Here's why. Because, and I mean, that's kind of a debatable topic, and of course your your ideas, your arguments are very welcome. I learn a lot from you guys, from your comments, from the information that you post in the comments. It's definitely very helpful. But here's the thing about the Gore-Tex, right? Whenever you have a Gore-Tex in your boot, usually it runs pretty expensive, okay? Gore-Tex is this fancy waterproofing technology. It's a membrane that is implemented into the fabric that is lightweight and breathable, yes, but it's expensive, very, very expensive. If this was Gore-Tex, I would say it'd probably be around $200, all right, and not $160, because Gore-Tex does add quite a lot to the price. But here's the thing about the waterproof boots in general. You can't really rely too heavily on the waterproofing, right? Because if you're walking, let's say in the rain, chances are most likely the water will get in regardless through the shaft. I mean, there is really no waterproof boot out there. There is no boot that you can just submerge into the water with your foot and the water doesn't get in. Yes, if you're walking through the puddles and through the, some creek that is like 2 inches, 3 inches deep, you will be completely fine with something like this, just like you would have been with Gore-Tex, all right? But if you get, if you're walking through the river, no matter how fancy your waterproofing is, it's out of the window. So it kind of comes down again to balance. Of course, it's good to want and have the state-of-the-art waterproofing on your boot and in your other accessories, because there's Gore-Tex pants, Gore-Tex hard shell, soft shell. Well, not soft shell because it's most likely not. It's just parts of the Gore-Tex if it's hybrid, but it's a whole different conversation. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below though, and we will start getting into all the other stuff that is out there above the feet. Probably about time to. But again, most of the times regular waterproofing is just enough. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this boot? What do you think about this review? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below and I will be happy to address them. As always, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.